To be honest, it seems ideal to me to earn my income entirely online on my own terms. When I imagine that I can earn money through my blog and YouTube channel, for example, feelings of bliss arise. These feelings are linked to a certain amount of freedom that I believe I would have if this were a reality. No boss to tell me what to do and in which place. No one to determine the pace at which I do my work. No one to dictate what I need to work on, just to determine myself to a certain degree when I start working and when I stop. To be able to spend more time with my family and enjoy life more. I also know that you can earn very well with a YouTube channel and with a blog. So much that if you wish, you can retire very early. However, if you want to realize that, it's important that you do it right. And when are you doing it right? At least not in the way I've been doing for the past 2 years. But that's about to change. Yes, I know. I've said this before. And those who have been following me for a while know I am as changeable as the weather. However, this time it feels different than before. And I am convinced that I will succeed. But of course, I'm also aware that there are also less fun sides to making money with a YouTube channel and a blog. An example of this is that you lose a lot of security. And personally, I find it quite risky. I have a family that counts on me and that I have to take care of. Also financially. It's of course easier to take risks when you have no one to take into account. Also insurance-wise and looking at retirement, it is of course a completely different story when you are totally responsible for your own income and not depending on an employer. Therefore, in my case, I think it's useful that while I have a permanent contract, I build and expand my online presence. Another challenge is that you have to be creative all the time. When you earn money with YouTube or with a blog, it is important that you continue to deliver content your audience finds interesting and or likes. However, as content creators, we all have those days when you simply don't get anything created. You just have no inspiration and nothing sensible comes to mind. Fortunately, I landed on a track where I believe infinite content can be created. And that's the track of documenting the journey. I am very inspired by the book Show Your Work, written by Austin Kleon. I recently wrote a blog post and published a video about how Ali Abdaal became a millionaire writing content online, and specifically how he built the foundation of his online success. This book was a huge part of it, and now I understand why. I haven't read Show Your Work in its entirety yet, but I can already tell you what it is that inspires me so much. And one of the things the book emphasizing is focusing on the process rather than the end result. And if you dare to document that, you can create a unique bond with the people who are connected to you. You share your experiences with them, your ups, your downs, your struggles, your victories, and that is what makes it so beautiful and unique. Everyone does this in his or her own way, and there's no need to be ashamed of being an amateur or a beginner. I love the quote from Shunryu Suzuki, which says, "In the beginner's mind there are many possibilities, but in the expert's there are few." I've become very driven by this, and I feel that it is therefore time for some kind of new beginning, especially with my YouTube channel. The relationship between me and my YouTube channel has always been indifferent, but lately I can even call it bad. And that's not a surprise. You know, I haven't been consistent in publishing content. I haven't been clear about the direction I want the channel to take. And the same goes for the type of videos I've published so far. It is really time to turn things around, and I'm going to get you involved in that process. I'm going to see it as a relationship. If you are a content creator or an entrepreneur in any way, you can compare the relationship with your business to that of a person. When you don't pay attention to someone, that relationship deteriorates. If you don't spend time in a relationship, you can't improve that relationship. This also works exactly the same with a business. If you neglect it, don't expect it to work or improve. If I want to see my YouTube channel as my business, I will have to invest time in it. I will have to pay attention and focus on it. Otherwise, that relationship will never improve and it will never work out. So I will also have to delve in how I can make it successful. Documenting this process, among other things, can certainly be interesting for other content creators as well, or people who want to start a YouTube channel. Of course, this also applies to my blog. I haven't been working on my blog for very long. It's quite new actually, and of course it needs time and more good content. Yeah, what is good content? Good question. I think good content is content that is relevant to the reader/consumer. This can be, of course, in various ways, such in the form of entertainment or knowledge. As long as the content consumer is inclined to read or watch further and finds it interesting what you have to offer, then I believe personally you deliver good content. By sharing my work and the whole process with you, I hope to provide valuable content that will benefit the both of us. I think it would be great to build this way and inspire others in the same time. Other bloggers as well. It's 2022. It's certainly not too late to start another blog or a YouTube channel. And regarding the blog, there are so many reasons to start a blog, and I hope my blog can be proof of that in the future. You know, at the moment my audience isn't that wide, but I'm convinced that it will change. And to come back to what we were just talking about, what I want to do with my YouTube channel, I also want to do with my blog. How do I make sure this will be a successful blog? What should I delve into? Are there useful tools I can use to optimize my work? Simply sharing the process of discovering what makes a good blog a good blog. This is a great example of documenting a part of my journey. And I really love creating content, especially when it can help another soul, whether that's financially, intellectually, spiritually, or in any other way, shape or form. Like with many other ways of making money, it's about supply and demand. That's what businesses do. They offer a product or service that someone finds valuable in a certain way and is willing to spend money on it. Looking at making money online, I think helping others is a great way to earn money. Documenting your journey is therefore potentially an amazing way to do so, as many artists or entrepreneurs only show the end product. Among other questions, I asked myself so many times the following ones. How did they do this? How was this made? How does he or she know this? Where does this come from? Which steps have been taken exactly? How did one become successful? There are many people who live in the illusion that they should not share their secrets, or else they will lose their success. But this can also work to your advantage. I believe people will have a deeper connection to your work when you involve them in the things you know. This is also a part which is discussed in Show Your Work. There are also such people at my work, people who like to keep as much knowledge as possible to themselves. And why are they doing this? I suspect that then they feel valuable to the company. They know things that others do not, and therefore others are actually depending on them to a certain degree. However, people who are not afraid to share knowledge are being looked at very differently. You know, they have a lot of respect and also responsibility, and with their knowledge they can help others as good as possible. And that, of course, can be very satisfying. And to me, it would be really satisfying if I could help others by sharing my journey. If another person can reap the benefits of that, that would be perfectly fine by me. This is my service, and you might find it valuable, and who knows to what it may lead. I only know one thing though. It won't be easy, but that's okay. Difficult things build character. And when you succeed in something that's very difficult and in which you have put a lot of time and effort, it is incredibly satisfying. I am very excited, my dear YouTube family. And if documenting our journey is not leading anywhere, then at least we leave a beautiful legacy.